right,
Yeah.
was about to hit the end stream button on accident. Anyways, we are now live.
This boy in stream before it started. Let's go.
Damn,
God
boy,
damn.
doing like real quick.
Sorry, things happen.
It's a podcast speed run.
Yeah, apologies again. Thank you all for
Never got
bearing
that
with
down.
us. Oh my god. Anyways, props to living with family, right?
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
God. It's like you don't have your own schedule eating time. You eat on their schedule, and that it apparently is random.
Well, you know.
That's why you got to make your own food.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you make your own food, you're just fine.
I was told that they were gonna make food. I'm like, okay, cool. The food being made, it's already this late. Anyways, moving on from that point. How's everyone doing for tonight? I was stressed out.
Oh, you know,
Yeah,
perfectly
I'm
fine.
good,
Perfectly
bro.
fine.
Not much happened with me. Just living life.
I
Fan
always
fucking
have fun
tastic.
watching you get stressed out.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up, Michael.
Oh, okay.
Already
Yeah.
the hostility.
Sorry.
I know, dude.
right? He's still always button hits. It's crazy.
No, that wasn't a minute in the YouTube video, and now we're gonna get
Bro.
demonetized because of that.
Yeah, we're
it's
gonna
fine.
get demonetized. Actually, no.
It's-
Just
no,
Brian,
it's
if Brian
fine.
keeps the intro, we're fine.
Yeah, if I keep the intros from like 1 minute 30 seconds, it would be fine. That's the one way to get past it. Don't change that part, YouTube. All right, please. I'm a good boy. I swear.
My
And then if
ass.
you do like 10 minutes, you
Yeah,
can start getting
right.
ads or something.
Oh my god.
People listen
No,
to this
it's usually a
podcast,
minute
this
30
boy
or
ain't
something
good.
like that. Anyways, what is today's topic, Victor? Since you also want to talk about this too.
Today is our clickbaity title called "Is Financial Accessibility a Good Thing?"
Why don't you
Now,
tell me
clickbaity
what that
title,
means?
clickbaity title aside, we're gonna pose the question onto all of you: Is
Never.
allowing normal people to invest into the stock market a good idea?
Hell no.
All right, well, that was our hot trash.
That was my
take.
that's my
Thank you,
Alex
guys.
said.
Podcast
Thank
is
you
over
for coming
guys.
in.
I guess you would have to give me why it would be a negative thing.
Have you already
Explain
seen how
your answer?
So this is already given to the fact that knowing normal people that have no idea how to get into or know exactly what stocks are in the first place. And I'm only saying that too because of the rise of Robinhood or a lot of like these app trading platforms that allow people to just get in relatively quickly. And then everyone is just spending money on there. Whether or
So-
not if they knew how to use it or not doesn't really matter. All I'm saying is that it's just more players that have entered the pool, and obviously everything else is being overinflated because of that. Therefore, that's why we saw that market reset.
Mhm.
At least that's why I believe that.
What market reset?
Remember when everything just fucking crashed momentarily and then it went back up? Well,
That's 'cause of
that was
COVID. Oh,
that
that's
was
not
during COVID,
really a
yeah.
reset.
Yeah, that was during reset. But it was like after like the pandemic, we also saw too that like a lot of prices were starting to normal out. Either
But it
normal
started
out
going
to like
back up again.
Yeah,
A
it
couple
started
years
coming.
after. So I mean,
yeah,
it's still the same. Nothing
Yeah.
changed.
yeah.
So is your
But-
concern that people will lose a lot of their money? Or are you concerned that
Oh yes, most definitely.
price? No,
Well,
I mean like
losing money is one part of it. The other part is that they're inflating everything.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we're talking specifically about the stock market, not the economy. So let's make that distinction clear.
Yeah. Because obviously the stock market is not an indicator of what American economy is like time and time again. But at least that is my justification and reasoning for that too. It's a multitude of like giving in this case the power of like the average American who they themselves are not like specialized, or do they have to know how stock trading works in the first place? It doesn't even need to be like day trading or option trading. Like, do they understand what it takes to actually invest in the stock market? Is the fundamental piece that is missing from a lot of people when they get in there.
Let me ask y'all a question, since the rest of y'all have dabbled in stocks before. What is your main goal of investing?
typically I like long term.
Just let the money work for me, essentially.
The money works for me.
So so in the end too, a lot of it is just money based at the as the end goal in the first place.
What else
Whether
am I
if it's-
investing in the stock market for?
Yeah. Whether or not if it's like the slow or fast approach, at the end of the day, a lot of people's like end goal whenever they participate in the stock market is just straight up for monetary gain.
Sure, I think you can say that about most things in life.
Yeah. But in terms of the way how a lot of media is pointing it out too, it's a lot better to put your money into stocks, especially when people say instead of put money in your savings, put everything into stocks.
Well,
Where
that's your first problem is listening to media. When have they ever done anything in your best interest?
Well, I mean, they're not wrong. That's the thing, though. Like, you should invest your money. Problem is, you also need to do your research into what stocks and how to invest and all that things too. You can't just listen to the media and just put your money into stocks without knowing
Well,
what to do.
I think a
You'll
healthy
end up like us,
diversification of your funds is probably the best option.
which still requires
Well,
research.
Well, if you know what you're doing,
Well,
you don't
yes.
diversify, interestingly.
Okay, but
Like, if anything, Michael, all I'm saying is that you're still correct in that regard, but unfortunately, it still requires the individual person to research about that, regardless.
so your concern is research.
Not even
Everybody
just
needs
that.
to be educated.
It's literally just common sense and education. And in this case, the most fundamental, like, common sense of like, it's the question that a person needs to ask themselves first about whenever they go into investment is that, are you willing to lose money? 9 times out of 10, a lot of people will probably say no. Or even if they say yes, they're bullshitting.
Well, yeah, true. When you go into the stock market, a lot of people think that it's a way to make more money and that their money's going to be like relatively safe if you find a good stock or something, right? I think that people should go into the stock market with the opposite viewpoint so that they're prepared if something bad happens to your money.
Mhm.
They should go into the stock market believing that they'll lose all their money.
Sounds like
Yeah.
I'll never let it go then.
I mean, that's also up to you as well too. If you ever change position, it's like the expectation, not in this case as a result, just the
Yeah.
expectation. Because everyone's result is completely different from the other.
I'm not saying you will lose money. I'm just saying you should just be prepared for the worst.
So it's like in all generality too, whatever we're trying to claim to, we're not trying to be absolutists in specific regards.
Absolutely.
only-
And elitist.
Well, absolute. The only thing I'm only absolute about, I will say this: the only thing I'm absolute about is that the average American is fucking stupid.
Say the average fucking human is stupid.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, like I really do feel like it always seems to be centralized about Americans, but I feel like after this long, we can all say that like
man.
a half of humanity is just
Like I said,
not up to
we live in
snuff.
America. I mean,
So
that's why
our
we always say
perspectives in
Americans
America.
look-
Every other country
exactly.
does not exist to me.
Every other country doesn't exist to Americans.
It's America and
This man
everything
Vietnamese,
else.
he just said Vietnam don't exist.
Oops. But regardless, all of our, at least all of my perspective is just going into the mindset of living in America, nothing else to try to complicate the matter here, because I try to like bring straightforward to my points here.
Well, then you might as well increase that half to like 3/4, dude. All right.
Why 3/4? It's 9/10.
100% and call it a day.
Yeah. Why stop at 3/4, Michael? Just say everybody in America is dumb. Even
I
like the
never
people
said
that
I
know
was
what they're
wrong.
doing.
100% of people in the world are dumb, bro.
Yeah. Even the people that you perceive that they're winning too, they are themselves probably don't know if the things that they're doing is going to be the right decision or not.
Of course.
Everyone thinks everyone else is stupid. That's just how it works.
Yes.
Exactly. I agree.
Especially me to you, Michael.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Damn.
I'm
always
kidding. I'm
butting
kidding.
heads, bro. When can we stop?
Sorry. You want to be next, Lloyd?
Bro,
Okay,
you better not. I'll burn
Hugging me
you.
from behind and
bro.
telling me to hug you. How the hell?
Brian
Yeah,
sometimes
fucking
says
burn
some
you, bro.
things that make me question if he's truly an engineer.
I'm mostly mad. That's about it.
Damn,
But-
he's mostly math. You heard him.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
bro, wrap one up.
Well, not right now, because that would be really weird to do on stream.
Oh, no shit.
Nonsense, bro. Nonsense.
Man.
I don't know. Just time. Do it.
Anyways, back on topic, you fucks. But so let's just get this out of the way too about like in this case financial accessibility being bad or good and whatnot. I still
Get her out of the way.
in generality, it's good to at least have the tools available for the normal average Americans. Because usually before like apps like Robinhood, Charles Schwab's, or all the other trading platforms, the way how normal people would end up having to like participate in the stock market is that they had to contact through the stock brokerage, which effectively is you give them money and they invest on your behalf, or they would tell you what to invest in, with in this case their own service fees associated with it.
Absolutely.
So there's like the whole thing that's going on with it too, where I believe beforehand too, it's a fact that like you had to spend like add like more than like $100 for like stocks or like into your portfolio, just because half the time uh the stock brokerage probably back then took like 50% of like $100 for it. So effectively, if you put $100 in, you would already be down $50 into the stock market.
I'm sure commission isn't that much, but it was a lot for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot, but this is just for example.
Yeah.
But if you have more insight into this, Victor, before like we had all these apps, go right for that.
Y'all ever watched the Wolf of Wall Street?
Hell yeah.
I
It's the
saw
most wildest movie ever.
I saw the first 2 minutes and then never watched it again.
Oh damn! All right. Well, Wolf of Wall Street, well, outlandish and absurd as it is, it gives you an idea of how brokers worked back in the days.
Yeah. And how insanely ludicrous that a lot of brokerage were, at least they were incentivized in forcing people to make like quick trades without actually looking out for the beneficial.
Yeah,
Like,
because they made money off of commissions, and commissions happen whenever you buy or sell a stock. So, as
yeah.
you can imagine, they always want you to buy and sell a lot so they can make money.
Yeah. Like in terms of like the way how it works for the stock markets as well, it's actually good to have like money consistently flowing. But in regards to the way how the Wolf of Wall Street portrayed it, it's also pretty bad if the brokerages themselves are literally making millions just because they're just forcing people to take on very risky bets.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, oopsie, 2008 happened.
Well, 2008 was a different story, not because of the stock market.
Oh, okay. Well, 2008 definitely was a different story. My bad on that. So going back, loopy doop doop. But Wolf of Wall Street, like what you said, is pretty much a very apt comparison of what kind of was, or what the stock market was like before these apps. And then you look at stuff like Robinhood that just came out, and the memes that are associated with that, such as Wall Street bets. Please, for the love of God, for those that are listening to and they want to get into stocks, don't go to Wall Street bets as like a credible source to know what to put money into. Those guys on average are losing millions.
Well,
I think the
because
entirety of subreddit.
They're following other people who are telling them to pump up a stock, and the ones that are telling them to pump up the stocks are probably the ones that are selling out first.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
like-
of course you're gonna lose millions if you're gonna follow someone.
Yeah, and it's honestly funny too, because like this is going to be a little bit off topic, but it's very thing. Michael Reese developed his own trading like algorithm bot by letting a goldfish determine what to buy or sell. And that goldfish outperformed Wall Street bets by a large margin.
Okay, but let's make it clear. He didn't. I don't think he actually made money.
Yeah.
Let's
didn't.
make that distinction clear.
Yeah, he didn't make money, but if anything, he made more money than Wall Street bets.
He lost
Comparatively.
less money than Wall Street bets.
Yeah. If you're losing less, you're making more.
Exactly. But like this is also sort of like the whole idea too, like in this case reinforcing my idea that like I think in some cases financial accessibility is still good, but obviously if you just let normal people who have no idea what they're doing with their money participate in something like this, they're easily going to lose out a lot of money, especially those that
Okay,
got their
but
stimulus check.
Who are you to tell them what they can do with their money?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, for all I know too, I will say this as a disclaimer: you guys don't have to listen to me at all too.
No,
I
I
could be
mean,
just full of shit.
Look, like we're not stopping
No, I'm
people
just
from
basing
investing.
off of what
We're
he's
just,
saying.
I know, but
That's all I'm saying.
he makes a kind of extreme point. But I think the idea is, I mean, is it a good idea for these people to invest in the stock market when they have no clue what they're doing?
Yeah.
You know, that's
So
the
I
main
would
thing.
advise no one to spend money or bet money or whatever with their money if they're not if they're not aware of what they're doing with it.
Right.
But
And
what
here's
if
a
but they're aware, but not like knowledgeable enough.
But then the next question would be, what's that standard? Like, how can you tell if someone is aware? What is
Well-
that standard?
Well,
Well,
the
there's-
aware part is that they know that these tools exist, and that's why they're in the stock market. That's what I'm saying. Like they know it exists. I'm not saying aware is that they're knowledgeable or anything about it. They just know that this tool exists and that they actually use it.
Yeah, I'm not asking for people to be like actual like practitioners of like finance or stock brokerage or like market analysis. I'm not asking for something like that. It's just the people themselves need to really have like a better fixed expectation about this. However, I'll go at this towards myself in a more empathetic view. A lot of times people that do want to go into the stock market as well too, because for all they know, everything that they're doing in life is not making enough money to offset like everything, the cost of living going up. So obviously too, they're going to need that money. And if everyone is telling them that they're getting a lot of money from like the stock market too, shit, I would not blame them if that's like their goal. That is that is still an okay goal to go into the stock markets. Like I said, it's just a fact of the matter. Again, a lot of the tools and traits, however, do not really help the idea of, in this case, making people aware of like how much money they are losing, especially the way how Robinhood effectively the UI looks like you're playing a game.
Let me ask a question to all of y'all. Are you guys glad that these kind of apps exist that allows you to invest in the stock market easily?
I think it can provide opportunity for people. Like, if they want to do the research and understand it, I think it can offer some benefits to them. I don't know. I haven't.
This is why this is your opinion. Do you like having these apps available to you?
Did I lag out or something?
No. I was saying to like, do you yourself like having these apps available to you so that you yourself can participate in the stock market trade?
Sure, but I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest. I don't care that much about it.
And that's all I really ask either. So, and it's fine. No, I think this is also the problem with like the fact that how a lot of people are so not even in this case financially invested. Some people are just emotionally invested into the stock market as well, which is also a big issue with that as well when it comes to people not knowing how to separate their own feelings to whenever their own profile or their own portfolio decides to tank, and then they just start making rash decisions to try to recover.
Indeed, the most amount of money lost is usually whenever a person is reacting based on emotions.
That's why everyone just needs a bot.
Even then, I think that makes it worse because you know, being one that personally coded a bot or tried to code a bot, you soon realize that the bots are extraordinarily dumb no matter how smart you try to make it. So you will lose money, usually.
You can never predict the curve.
Never.
And that's just also
I mean,
like,
if you can't predict it yourself, if you can't find the pattern,
No,
if you coding the bot with your knowledge is not going to make it any better.
yeah, no, I feel like in reality, the whole point of it is just to make things less hands-on. Like, it really is like you're just taking what you know, your knowledge, and implanting it into the multiple AIs that will run constantly and be able to do things for you, but only to what you know.
Yeah.
No.
So if you're really bad at understanding it, then you're just going to program kind of a bot that's going to make you lose money.
Yeah, essentially.
No. And also to really add on to it too, in this case, even if you don't have bots too, like option trading is actually a great thing to have for like a normal person. But obviously, for those that don't know how to use the tool, you're obviously going to be losing out on a lot of money as well.
No, yeah, definitely. I think yeah, everybody definitely has to understand investing and options. Just basically whatever you want to do, you just got to understand how they function.
Yeah.
Because the basic buying and selling stocks very simple.
Yeah.
Once you start branching out and go to other parts of the financial markets, you start seeing that there's a lot more complicated tools at your disposal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say for right now too, like Lloyd, you're not really even doing all that much either. You just buy a stock, you're just holding on to it, right?
Dude, it's been so long since I've even dabbled in it. I think it was like about 2 years ago, and I just stopped, and it's just sitting
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
So
literally just sitting there since 2 years ago.
all right. So let's just assume that you're just pretty much you just buy a stock and you hold it. You don't really have the intention to sell anyways, right?
Yes.
So yeah, and that's also like in this case, honestly, a much more reliable strategy to do as an investor. It still won't still guarantee to make money, but honestly, your return on investments is definitely higher than those that are definitely putting the effort. Although maybe by not by a large margin, but
Where are you getting
it's
that statistic from?
Obviously, it's still I mean, well, if you hold a stock for, well, let's say the stock market average is 7 to 10% per year, and this is the statistical average. So, as long as you either choose the right stock or invest into an index fund, your average return is going to be about 7 to 10% a year.
yeah. So that's at least where at least my like way about it too, because I also have some stocks as well. And I'm mostly just holding on to the ones I have that either have dividends as part of their buy options, not options as in the option trading, but regardless, fucking terms are confusing for me. But really, the problem with like a lot of people that don't really want to just like buy and hold either is just because the fact that it's also the most slowest way to like make money, which is in all accounts, yes, it is very much slow. And
Very
the only
slow
thing you're
indeed.
really and the only thing that you're really banking on is the fact that A, the stock market will still be up. That is all you're really banking on.
Of course, the stock market will always be up unless America's economy decides to crash.
Yeah.
Again.
Well,
Again.
well uh, subjectively, it did somewhat okay. Or if anything, there's some very weird stuff, but we'll talk about that later. But I think right now, with like how a lot of people's reasons go in it, that's why they probably view option trading and day trading as such like a lucrative way how a person can make money. And it's definitely true. You can make a lot of money through day trading and option trading, like way more than someone that's just buy and hold.
Mm-hmm. I think the thing you should say is they can make more money faster than just
Mhm.
buying and holding a stock.
Yeah. But at the same time as well too, you're also a lot of people are also not accounting for, in this case, the risk factor of certain purchases, certain sales of a stock you do have will just decrease in valuation. So if anything, you will probably lose money or whatnot, depending on the trade.
Yeah, it's
And
possible to lose money during day trading. I mean, a lot of people, I think statistically, somewhere in the 90% range, 90% of day traders lose money. Of course, that number is extraordinarily skewed only
mhm,
because 90% of day traders don't know what they're doing. That's why they're losing money.
Mhm.
yeah, and that's also again, it probably doesn't help out either way too. With the I'm only saying this as like this is probably the only reason why my thing with financial accessibility is like a problem too. And I think in this case, the video, like how money works, he makes a very bold and clear statement. Investment is not supposed to be fun.
Yeah, I'd like to clarify that point. Fun is a subjective term.
Yeah.
I mean, I find it fun, but I don't like day trade or do anything like that.
Yeah.
I just do a buy and hold
Mhm.
and with some options here and there.
But
And I
I
find that
think
enjoyable.
yeah, but I think in this case, what he was trying to word with how money works recommend anybody that wants to know about their own personal finance, at least just have a listen to the guy. Maybe not take his advice, just have a listen. Maybe it'll make you ask yourself about some things about your own financial goals. But anyways, what he probably means to say instead is that the investment or stock market itself should not be viewed as a game.
You should not see it as a game. I agree. You don't want to be the apes in Wall Street bets, do you?
I was like, but ape together strong. Look at the GameStop AMC stock.
Correct. Strong, but not smart.
There
I think there's a difference.
You can just follow you can just follow them and then do puts on everything they say to do calls on.
Maybe that is also definitely a strategy someone could do as well. If you're observing Wall Street bets, but if you know that they actively lose money with whatever they do, just view on what they're doing and then do accordingly from that.
We are not
How?
experts nor financial advisors. I do
Yes.
not advise you to do that.
I don't either, but
I
at the
don't
same
advise
time.
you to do advising of anything.
But anyways, here's my.
I don't advise my advising.
But here's our link to our crash course of how to make money fast. God,
It's funny that you bring that up. That's how a lot of quote unquote day traders make money.
yeah,
Just through the
God,
courses that they sell.
God, I feel like we already talked about this before too, where it's like the fake finance gurus and whatnot.
Yeah.
But if anything, I think like the way how it is with accessibility, you are definitely going to have people that obviously should not be giving out advice to
Or
people that are
classes.
trying.
Are classes
as-
still a thing? Are people
Yes.
still falling for classes?
What do
Yes.
you mean? The what?
Like the
Like
sign
the-
up for
the-
my classes and I'll teach you how to raise your
Oh,
portfolio
online
like
courses?
200%.
Yeah,
It's still a
that's still a
thing.
good.
Like people
They're
are still going
rampant,
for that.
bro. They're
Yeah.
still
What the heck?
rampant.
I thought that died off like with
Nope.
what's the garage like the Lamborghini in my garage.
I mean, they're not
Yeah.
that extreme anymore, but there's still definitely a lot of online courses.
Yeah. And a lot of times too, the reviews are effectively like, yeah, these classes are fucking mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the but it's like straight up the only bad thing about it too is the fact that you have in this case some person too that says like, hey, because I bought your course too and I actually made a fuck ton of money. It's like, well, good for you, but unfortunately that's not like people are gonna view that like very much differently if they realize how many people have taken that same course as you did and how much did each of them actually make as well.
Well, that's the problem. They nitpick these reviews, obviously.
It's yeah.
I mean, I could also, I also believe they could be paid reviews. I wouldn't doubt it, honestly.
I would believe that too. And honestly, if like 10% of every customer or every person in that like class is making a profit and 90% are not, then statistically, it's not very good. It's not a very good thing to be putting your
But
money.
statistically, it still falls in line with the day trader statistic of majority.
If I
of
change it
user
to
money.
5 and 95%, will that fix it for you?
No.
But like regardless whatsoever too, it's something that obviously like a lot of people that are trying to like get their information how to properly think as like a stock investor, and there's unfortunately just not really a simple answer for that because a lot of times
everybody should like come up with their own ideas and conclusions about what kind of stock to invest in.
Yeah.
Because everybody has a different interest. Like for me, I am a tech guy, so I actually invest pretty heavily in tech stocks.
not
And,
even before the fact
also-
that they were overvalued either, but it was like
also real estate and finances, like finance companies, like banks and stuff.
Yeah,
So
I'm not.
These are my main categories that I invest in. So these are what I am particularly knowledgeable in. So I invest in that the most.
yeah. And if I
So
were to also branch out,
it just you just gotta make up your own ideas. You can't just follow anyone. Go ahead, guys.
yeah, like it's like even if like let's just say too that like if I were to even diversify further, I would actually just go straight into like the manufacturing or like those that provide like industrial equipment. Caterpillar, for example.
Mm-hmm. That was indeed
Where-
a good one.
Yeah. So it's just like the fact of the matter is that like the end of the day, you yourself need to define like what values do you have in this
Invest
case.
in
What
what
do you
you know.
promote? Invest in what you know and invest accordingly based on the fact that what do you believe in for the future? Because then now you look into like how like these billionaire or millionaire investors are making such like profitable gains from their investments. And there's like a without like if you're paying attention, if you don't realize like what company they're investing in, that's not even the end goal of like making sure that a company survives. Although it's preferable if they survive. But at the end of the day, what they really care about is that the companies that they invest in, they're investing in what they believe is the future that they want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just take, for example, the one CEO for SoftBank. Have you guys seen their fucking like investment portfolio?
Negative.
They have 88 or not banks. They have 88 companies that they have invested. Well, at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised either way if out of those 88 companies that they invested in, a majority of some of those would have been banks. But regardless, it's all because of the fact that the main head or the CEO of SoftBank is just a ridiculous and liberal like investor. He makes Kevin O'Leary look like a conservative in comparison.
That's all right, bro. The way he invests is like Kathy Woods, and I feel like they just throw money into random companies.
Yeah, at least
my honest
random.
opinion, it just feels random to me. And like,
yeah, maybe there's a vision that we don't know about it, but then that's the end of the goal here. Every one of these investors, they have some type of vision that they're doing. Hell, you even have Warren Buffett that he has a vision of what he thinks is financial stability. Now, a lot of people would agree with him, but he does make money, but no one should mirror that either.
His idea is long term, like never selling stocks long term.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he does sell stocks, don't get me wrong, he does. But that's his investing goal, is to hold it for as long as possible. Oops.
And that might not be like the most appealing strategy for anybody out there.
Mm-hmm. That is like the strategy that everyone should do, is what everyone's advised to do, I should say, is that they should buy and hold stocks until like essentially retirement when you can start cashing it out.
Yeah. And you don't need to have like financial
gratification now.
Well, then obviously that's why I stayed in like empathetic view about it. It was like, that's perfectly fine. If you want to do that, you are more than welcome to. We have the apps to do so. But I do say, unfortunately, as well, a lot of people are going to go at this more emotionally than they are logically about like how they want to invest in their future, especially when we're in America. We're living in very troubling times.
Man, I'd say just start a business.
Man, even that is already an investment in itself.
And like I said, everything's an investment with a higher chance of losing money, but at least it's something you're doing and you have control over, so it's nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So. Well, I mean, you kind of have control over it. Really, you should. Yeah, I mean, you do. If you know where you're choosing your location at, and then the demand for a service, then you can essentially control that market for that area.
Well, when I say control, what I really just mean is that you're essentially your own boss. You're doing your own work. You can control the company by pushing the company in the direction you want to go. That's what I mean.
And you're not beholden in this case. Some dipshit CEO decides to say one thing and then tanks the valuation of the stock.
Yeah.
I'll make a business and then hire a manager to run the business.
You're the dipshit CEO that's gonna say something that'll tank the stock.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, our stock valuation is not even in dollars; it's by Bison dollars.
It's in Dogecoin.
God damn.
Yeah, don't say that, bro. Elon's gonna buy us out.
As long as he buys us with the equivalent in the Dogecoin, I'm fine with it.
You mean like a fraction of a cent?
Yeah.
I said the value of our company in Dogecoin.
Well, so a fraction of a cent still. Got it. I'm kidding.
The idea. Flips us a Dogecoin.
Dogecoin.
But like really I think let's go into like some of the platforms in general. When I say that, like I don't really like the way how Robinhood kind of sets itself up to be too, because this was during the time when I was in college. I dabbled in it here and there too, but it was like it's whatever.
Well, but we're going way back.
Yeah.
We're gonna
But
like our college days, guys.
yeah.
Robinhood just came out.
Yeah, it was already a nice platform to begin with too, but then when you kind of look into it further, then there's a thing that's called like a dark pool. Let's make sure that we get this out of the way. Dark pool sounds scary as shit, but in reality, all it really is that you're just playing with like Robinhood's like money, effectively. By money, I
Also,
mean you're
Mr.
playing.
Billy, continue explaining.
Okay, this is going to be very much butchered, and I need Victor to confirm whether or not I said this correct. All right,
You're probably
so
wrong, but that's okay.
yeah. So if anything, Darkpool itself is just like a separate like trading platform, but it still relies on the general stock market pricing and valuation to begin with. And in some ways too, I would like equate Darkpool as like its own version of a stock brokerage in the evolution, I guess. That's the only way how I was able to maintain a word or two. And it's not even like the way how I see Darkpool. It's not even like that scary to begin with. However, there are some things with the name itself too. It does imply that there are some funny business happening, but a lot of times Robinhood still has to abide by a lot of the typical regulation and the policies that a lot of stock trades have to follow.
Mhm.
So if anything, it's not that bad entirely, but just note too that like there's always the feeling in the back of your head too, whatever you trade on Robinhood, you may or may not actually own that stock. That's just a wordage.
When you buy through a modern brokerage nowadays, you don't actually own the stock.
Yeah. Yeah. Modern days, yeah. Even with Charles Schwab, kinda.
No, you don't own it either.
Yeah.
Not with
That's
the
what I
system
thought.
they implement.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
See,
And
the
it's
thing
obvious.
is how it works is with Robinhood, I know for sure, and they use a system called payment for order flow,
Mhm.
and this is what a lot of brokerage also use in order to offer free commissions on their trades on their stocks.
Yeah. I'm
Essentially,
pretty
what
sure.
happened? Hold on. Essentially, what
All right.
happens is that your order, your stock order, is going to be sent into a middleman. Essentially, this is called a market maker. So Robinhood or whatever brokers you use would essentially would route your order to these market makers, and then these market makers will then give you your stock, and then give Robinhood a small cut for routing your order through them. And your buying and trading on Robinhood usually happens between this middleman, and then the middleman deals with the stock market after that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
Robinhood makes money through them. You don't get the best price because there's a big spread, and you also don't own your shares.
So that's just something that like everybody should keep in mind of when looking at like investment trading through like application versus like traditional methods. But
Just remember, free is never free.
yeah, if something is
Yeah.
free, you are the product.
I was actually just gonna say that.
So mind you, like I said, a lot of these things too, if everybody is okay with that happening, then by all means, these apps are definitely a good way to make money.
I mean, you can still make money. Obviously, you can. People do.
Yeah.
We still do.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. But
That makes one
point
of us.
is, but the point is, you can definitely still make money.
Mhm.
But it's just if you do the main problem is you do frequent buying and selling, like day trading essentially, or even high frequency trading, which I'm sure the normal people would never do.
God.
That's when this kind of issues arise. That's when you really notice that you're gonna lose a lot of money really quickly.
Yeah, look what happened again with Robinhood when they had to like pause a lot of transaction orders because the fact that everybody was buying GameStop.
Mm-hmm. GameStop to the moon.
Yeah, gang stock to the moon.
Diamond hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah.
God. Like I said, we probably talked about this already from our previous podcast with our guest friend Matt, who was our
That's all right.
podcast unofficial financial advisor. Although to be fair though, I pay him next to nothing. So
You don't
therefore,
pay him
whatever
anything. What do
advice,
you mean next to
Yeah.
nothing?
all right, I don't pay him anything. So whatever advice he gives me, that's the best I'm gonna get out of him. But regardless, we did talk about this briefly too, with the way how you can use these as part of a way to personally finance your life. And It's just right now the way how I kind of see it as well, and a lot of people are kind of seeing the way how people's behaviors obviously way too erratic for them to actually participate in a stock market. But if you look at it in like the more empathetic viewpoint, could you really blame them?
I don't know. I mean, everybody just wants to make enough money to live.
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad that they want to get into the stock market to make enough money. I just feel that these people who don't know what they're doing are
They're just
kind
mostly
of
hurting themselves in
I feel
this.
like
hurting
Like,
themselves.
people
Hurting themselves is one thing. I think ruining the market is also another thing.
I feel like people don't want enough money to live. They want enough money to be comfortable. And there's a difference in that.
I,
Okay, you
if
know,
it,
okay, I accept that. Yeah.
yeah, just because like the way how usually whenever the phrase like I just want to make enough money to be comfortable, it also comes from the fact too that like whoever what it is to I would assume like their approach to it would also be considered lazy and they don't do enough research and they just follow the trends
Oh,
half the time.
I feel like that most people do make enough. Well, a lot of people make enough money to live, but what it is people strive to be comfortable, not to live.
Yeah. Also, and then that begs the question: what is comfortable to you? Because everybody
Exactly. Well,
has their own definition of comfortable now.
and I think
Yeah.
that's why there's a lot of like I don't want to get too far off topic, but essentially why there's a lot of divide between like I don't know. I had to refine my thought a little better.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, like if you
When you
guys want
do,
to make
let us
yourself feel
know.
better. Yeah. If
It
you
won't
guys
be
want to
during this
fake
podcast.
but God damn it, I'm trying to say shit and then things happen. God damn it, gooba doob doob. But I will say too, like for anybody that wants to do feel a little bit better about themselves too, probably a more fucked up way to try to make yourself feel better. Just watch any video by Caleb Hammer, who he does like financial audits. The people that he brings on there too, I don't think he truly does it on purpose, but man, those are some worse for wear people in their financial position I've ever seen in life. Holy shit. Guy is like, I'm trying to make money and trying to live out and buy a house too. Do you think I could do it? You are literally a dog walker. It's like straight up. There's just like, I think really that's why like I kind of feel to like whatever he brings on to the show does not represent the majority. But I do think too there are some people that are coming at this at like a way that yeah, I do have a job. It's just like unfortunately again, I can't make it in this case. It's not in this case living comfortably. I will even straight up say too that like the normal like salary in our range now too, we can't even afford a house in anymore.
Mhm.
Even if Victor
Uh,
at a time was the most paid person out of the group here, he
now it's
himself.
me.
Hmm. Anyways, but regardless, too, even if your salary range to here in Texas is like 70K, unfortunately, that's not enough to like state that like, hey, I want to look into my own house. Doesn't matter
There
if it's like near the
renting.
of the
there were
renting in
some
this
Renting's
case.
already
houses.
rough.
Yeah,
There were some houses further north that were about 200K.
Where? An hour north?
Yeah,
In Aubrey.
yeah,
in
God.
In the
Preston,
middle of nowhere?
Preston.
Well, yes,
Nah.
like I said, it's fine if anything. Those are just newly built houses over there that they're trying
Hey,
to
they're the only
develop as well.
affordable houses you're gonna find here.
Yeah. Which, if anything, a lot of people like they need to like stay next to the Metroplex area too, because of the fact, that's where people work.
You know, if public transport was more like was built out a lot more in our area, I think people would be fine moving out.
I
Maybe.
think people need to return to the fields, start working the farms,
Shut
working
up,
the
Michael.
cattle.
Shut up, Michael. You just want people to be working on. You yourself are the one person that stated on here too that you would rather see people go on public transportation just so that one you could have the road to yourself. You selfish asshole.
I'm the
Hey,
same kind of
me
person
too.
where if
I would do
flying
it.
cars
I
were
want
out,
that.
if flying cars were a thing, that I wouldn't want anyone else other than me to have flying cars because I don't trust anyone
No,
else
no,
with a
no, no,
flying
no, no, no,
car.
no. Let everyone fly their cars. You stay on the road.
No.
Why not? And then you have a flying car come crashing down because they hit somebody.
Exactly. Like a
Yeah.
car isn't gonna ramp up and hit me.
Watch me, Dukes of Hazards. God. But right now, with all this too, like if anything, did what we talked about change any of our position about like is financial accessibility a good thing?
No. My opinion
Oh.
wasn't changed. I should say no.
No, okay.
Well, I will say it's a yes and no answer for sure.
hmm Like
It's a good thing
like,
because it's a good thing because it's another tool for people to make more money and just live a better life, live a better life for themselves.
Agreed.
But it's a bad thing because they keep ruining the markets.
yeah,
I
you're
don't know
ruining
anything
our
about that.
portfolio. I'm kidding. But
This is the flying car analogy here, or this is the public transport analogy. Everybody should go on public transport while we drive our cars.
exactly.
But everybody, everybody. It's nice that everybody can invest, but holy shit, are they ruining our markets? Honestly.
yeah, just like straight up whatever like Daddy Elon Musk says to invest in, everyone's like, our Lord has spoken.
All right, no,
It's like,
that Kitty Roar guy.
God. Yeah, our Lord has spoken. We must stay strong, brothers. Hold on.
He literally tweeted about something unrelated to GameStop, and then
No,
suddenly
yeah,
GameStop went up again.
Yeah, he didn't even say anything. He was just like, I'm about to cook, like in relative terms of like that.
Oh
It was just like, I was like, everybody just like, let's go. I was like, oh my God, people are
They're
fucking
literally-
stupid.
They are. They're ruining the markets. This is why I'm saying they're ruining the markets.
Yeah. Like I said, if it weren't for the fact that, again, a lot of these apps do look straight up like they were like fun games that people can do, and a lot of people kind of forget to. It's like, oh fuck, my actual money is gone.
Yeah.
That's why I state otherwise. Here's a better practice to really do about this. Just buy a bunch of fake money dollar bills on there too. Whatever you have, you get it to equal to whatever you have in your current bank statement or bank account number. And just whatever you start spending, just start burning or tearing that money up.
Yeah.
It's
Spend real money to buy fake money and burn it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you start tearing up the paper as you buy it.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, Mr. Bowie.
Hmm.
Since you say that all these apps are designed in a way where it looks like the users are just playing a game when they're buying and selling stocks, how would you want the UI to look or be designed?
Like I said, I'm only stating it this way too because that is definitely a reason and cause for it too. However, if I was like the app maker and design too, I would try my best to make it look as easily approachable as possible for people to want to get into it. It's
But
really hard to.
I feel like this easily approachable is what makes it look like a game because a nice UI ends up look kind of like a game would be, how a game would be.
I was
Like I said-
literally about to say, it sounds
Yeah, I
like
know.
what it is.
Yeah, and I know what I stated either. Like I said, I don't have an answer to this problem either. I'm just stating otherwise too, like how I feel about this.
How would you
And
fix
obvious-
this problem? I would fix this problem by not doing a thing about it.
Exactly.
But that's
Because here's the thing.
That's what a lot of companies do.
Yeah. Because here's the fucking thing about it too. If me being like blunt as a person too, if you're willing to risk the money as well too, and you know that going into it, that is your prerogative. You are more power to you. But just a lot of times too, people will definitely bitch and complain that they would lose money for sure for stuff that they themselves did. That a lot of them do not hold themselves accountable that you made the trade. You did not have to buy or sell at the position that you were at.
This advice probably comes an hour late, but the idea is you should always be prepared to lose all the money you put in.
Yeah.
Only put in what you're willing to lose.
Yeah.
That's how they always say.
Put in what you're willing to lose. That is the advice that we will give.
Yeah.
That is the official advice that everybody says, and that is also an advice that we agree with.
We are not financial advisors.
Correct, but this is advice that we agree on. That
What,
makes
I thought-
the most logical sense.
As human beings, but not as
What-
financial advisors.
What do you mean? I bought this license off of Amazon for $20. I'm kidding.
Ryan is now a financial advisor.
Unofficial
a
financial advisor.
from a certificate I bought off of Amazon. It doesn't even it doesn't even say financial. It's not even spelled correctly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Goddamn. But regardless, for people that again, I hopefully this does reach the people that are like trying to they're struggling right now and all hope is lost too. Not all the time. You really just need to be more comfortable. Just hold yourself accountable to that. Hold yourself accountable with the fact that you yourself are the only reason why you're in the position that you are in. Such as the fact that, especially with a lot of tech layoffs that happen as well, it may not have been your decision in the end, but obviously too, this was also a decision that like if you paid attention better too, you would see the writings on the wall for some things. And this is also a cyclical thing as well. Then a lot of times again, this is going to be off topic for a little bit too, but this is pretty much going to be funneling back to here in the first place. Nothing in life is always guaranteed, right? Especially like stock
Death
markets,
and taxes.
your job security, where in reality, there is no such thing as job security. That's just something that they sell to you just so that one, you feel better, like being able to work without having to switch over immediately.
Mhm.
That's what I believe, at least.
I agree.
And
with you.
and not even just that too, just like knowing if you're going to be healthy or you might just like fucking keel over and die is also a guarantee. I at least know it. That might be a guarantee for some
Another
people.
guarantee is better dead than red. I agree with that one all the way.
God, that just
Oh
reminds
my
me.
God.
That just reminds me of a story that my girlfriend said too. That like there was like a Chinese pilot too that fucking went nosedive into the earth with like other civilians that he was piloting or flying a commercial airliner just because he checked his stocks. All of his Bitcoin money just went down to absolute zero.
Mm,
That's
So
nuts.
yeah, so
that's nuts for sure.
yeah, so it's like he didn't want to deal with the repercussion of his own actions, so he decided to decide for everybody else's fate with him.
That's all right. In this
He has a
next
special
life.
place in hell, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
In his next life, he'll just be a bug.
a dung beetle.
That's gonna get mauled by ants.
Yeah, and also gonna be laying on his back, unable to flip over.
Yeah. But like I said, I hope that again, this does reach to the right people too, knowing that yes, we're all struggling in the end too. You are not the only one that's special here. We're all struggling in this.
Yeah, you're not special.
I think that's the best thing to really work this about this as well. It's like you are
Yeah.
not special, but you yourself have the power and capability to literally pull yourself out of this.
Mhm.
All it takes is just one step forward.
Money.
I agree.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Money.
Like literally the best advice I got was from my algebra teacher back in high school. When making your way through life, don't pay attention to the mountain. Pay attention to the stepping stones underneath you.
Mhm.
What do you need to do to make the first step?
Putting your right foot out.
Yep. And that's all it really takes. Like legitimately just that too. And just apply that piece of philosophy to everything that you do, especially when it comes to like stock market trading.
Mhm.
If you yourself are not willing to make that first step, which if anything for in terms of trading, if you're not willing to make in this case the sacrifice of knowing that whatever you're going to put in, there's a high chance that you will lose money, you're not going to get anywhere.
Mhm. You're not
No.
gonna. Well, if you're not willing to accept the fact that you can lose money easily, then
Yeah.
the stock market probably isn't for you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There are definitely other ways that you can make money too. And a lot of it too is something that a lot of people need to get this out of their heads. This
I mean,
real quick. There's no
I
such thing
mean-
as passive income. That's all I gotta say.
I
all the-
disagree, but I disagree.
Yeah, well, we all have different opinions on that, but yeah. I will
No,
say there's no.
I say passive income does exist, but you have to build up to it.
Yeah, like in this case, there's gonna definitely be work to do no matter what in order to get money.
Mm-hmm. It's like these business owners just starting up a business, make billions, and then they just do whatever they want. That's the same thing.
Hmm.
Like with stocks too, you build up your stocks up to a point where they're just giving you money every month, and you're just chilling. Yeah, no, passive income exists. It's not immediate.
Yeah. It's not going to be immediate for sure, too. That thing, again, a lot of people should understand that as well. Everything you do in life, it will always take time. Money, love life, marriage, maybe having kids if you have ED. God damn. Maybe I should not have said that, but you know what?
You got ED, bro? Is there something you're not telling us?
No.
I think they got the point. You didn't have to add that last part, to be honest. With you.
I
Yeah.
think he's just exposing himself.
Hey, no, I don't have erectile dysfunction. I
You
don't
got
take
Ed,
blue.
bro. Who's
He's
that?
like, I don't take blue chews. I swear.
Yeah, you take hymns, don't you?
God damn. But regardless, regardless of shit posting aside right now, I really do hope that like people that are less fortunate than us, they can like fully utilize the tool that they are given. Which, if anything, at the end of the day, even though I did say too that no one should have, or financial accessibility is not a good thing. However, if you're a responsible human being, this is actually the most important tool that an individual can have.
Absolutely.
A lot of times people are not responsible. That's why I stated earlier. If people were more responsible,
People don't want to be responsible. Is the thing. They want to blame others for their own problems.
yeah. So yeah, fuck Joe Biden. I'm kidding.
Oh, shit.
Joe Biden did this.
Joe Biden.
He
God.
made the market bad. It made me lose my money.
Yeah. Like there's just a lot of things too that like it's obviously, again, the stock market itself is pretty much, if you look at it in like not in a emotional objective way too, it's actually a little bit easier to predict it at that point. But obviously you're gonna have people that are gonna be like overly panicking whenever shit happens, and
That's why
therefore
let
it's
him
just gonna
panic.
change it.
Look, that's the thing. The stock market is a dog eat dog world out there. You know, it's a zero sum game, as they say. So whatever money you make is money that another person essentially lost.
Yeah.
So it's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah. And if that's something that, again, you don't want to do this too, there are many better ways how you can also make your own income and money now too.
But that's the issue. You want to make a lot of money, you have to go through these kind of risks.
Yeah, you do have to go through these kinds of risks.
If you want to make any money at all, even a job is a risk. If you guys believe it that way.
Yeah.
Having a job is a risk because you don't know when you're gonna lose your job.
Yeah. Looks at all the cyclical layoffs that we have. And it's a cycle, guys. It's not like anything new outside of the fact that some companies are being brain dead about like we gotta go full AI in our whole workforce.
I think media is just overstating everything, just exaggerating everything as per usual, you know.
Yeah.
Layoffs happen every year.
Yeah. Especially when you have economic downturn.
Mm-hmm.
And again, to the people's like, how could the economy be in a downturn? The stock market is thriving. Well, that's because you have more dipshits online spending their money that they earned on there too. So the stock market is definitely not going to go anywhere.
I agree.
A lot of
those
people,
apes.
yeah, fucking apes. It's like, if anything, Victor, we should probably look at them as like a good sign, right? Because at least it's money not going to them no more. They weren't going to do anything useful with that money in the first place if they were going to make this trade.
Fair.
So to someone like what Victor said too, if you're losing money, someone else got your money instead too.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't set up like a chain of chaotic events happening there, but you know what, it is what it is. But do you guys have anything else that you would like to say too? I don't know if there is like an ending point to this as well. We're just at a point right now. We're gonna just say a lot of shit now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's reiterate our hot or trash take here.
I still believe.
Is financial accessibility a good thing? I say yes and no.
It's like, I say no, but put an asterisk.
So yes and no.
Nah, I just want to say no. I don't want to put a yes anywhere near that answer unless you
Alright.
read the subtext.
Absolutist.
Read the fine print.
Yeah, read the fine
Absolutist
print.
Absolutist with an asterisk.
And the
Exactly.
asterisk is no.
Still no. If you're coming for us for financial advice, you are literally in the rock bottom situation right now.
Oh, bro, we're just four random guys. Literally four random guys. On the
Yeah,
internet.
four
Four random guys on the internet.
Yeah. Like, let's just say too, maybe it's not financial advice too. Let's just say for someone that's like in our position then, right? If we were in a job, like currently a lot of us are employed, but a lot of us feel like they were stuck in that job and they want to like make more money. And obviously stock market, as they observe it, is not the most stable, but it can definitely give them money. What would be your advice
I'll
to
say
people that
nothing.
are in a position?
I'll say nothing stable. Just do whatever you find any sort of interest in, and just do it. Learn all about it and do it.
Yeah.
In the end, what makes you the most money is your knowledge and what you know and apply. I mean, you don't make a lot of money by just not knowing anything.
This is the only credit that we're going to give to Robert Kiyosaki.
So the most important investment that you can make today is within yourself, is your education, building up the skills and knowledge needed to make money.
But Victor, how will we do it if schools
up.
God damn it. but no, but if anything, Victor is definitely right on that too. You really need to, despite like the fact that again, you yourself are the sole reason where you're going to be able to make money. You need to be able to empower yourself with, in this case, empowering yourself with knowledge. Being able to, if you're in a stock market, being able to recognize like what companies are truly valuable to you and not to anybody else's. Just because a lot of times people definitely are like trading in like groups because of the fact that some ways they find a sense of community, when in reality, that's not how the stock market needs to work for an individual basis.
Mm-hmm.
So focus more onto yourself too. This is coming from someone that, for me, I didn't get laid off. I actually got fired from my previous job. I'll be able to say this. I think my NDA is actually repealed, or it's already long gone. So anyways, yes. Yeah, I was effectively fired from my job, but it was primarily because that was my fault in the fact that I stayed there way longer than I should have, and I should have been trying to look for a better job. Because obviously, like, I was like, okay, this is like an easy job. I could just like sit here and just take the paycheck here and there too. Then I start to realize it starts to eat at you when it's just like, if it's a job that you don't care much about too, why are you there?
Money.
Yeah. But even then too, at that point, money is not only can take you so far. Like I was literally having difficulties of like finding like excuses to like even wake up for work on time. Like it sounds bad, and it definitely is bad. It should not have gotten to that point, but I made the decision to like have that problem happen to me.
I agree. I actually quit my job recently for that exact reason.
Yeah. Like, given the fact that like, if it's not money that people need to figure out to, literally just do what you feel passionate about. Just know the fact that there will always be the question of like, okay, if I want to do something that I'm passionate about, how will I try to fund it? Then that's when you start actually planning yourself better on that.
Always asking how. They just like these pro gamers out there making millions nowadays. These guys, all they do is just literally play games.
Yeah. Fuck
And they were
them.
able to make a ton of money off of it, you know?
Streamers, videos, just making videos on YouTube if you get popular.
Yeah,
Like,
but unfortunately right now the ad revenue money is not that great anymore on YouTube just because of the.
I mean, that's why everybody has sponsors, but that's not the point.
Yeah, it's not
the point. The point is, you know, you find what you want to do, and then you invest in yourself, which is what these streamers and pro gamers do, right? They build up their skills in playing this specific game, and that makes them a lot of money in the end. Or for streamers, they build up their skills in like live streaming because it is a skill,
Yeah.
and video editing and things like that, and then that builds up their audience, and that makes them a lot of money in the end.
Yeah.
So in the end, you gotta build up your skills. You gotta enjoy what you do. You
Yeah.
don't have to be passionate about doing what you do. This is actually the most interesting advice. People say follow your passion, but passion doesn't make you money.
It really does. And if I was the case too, I would have been a fucking dancer. No, not really, but I would have actually start drawing a lot more.
Yeah, so just build up the skills in whatever you're interested in, and then eventually, if you do it right, you'll make a lot of money. So, and always invest in yourself, guys.
Invest in yourself, not in this case people that should not be getting money. Looks
When I
at
say invest
literally
in
entire Wall
yourself,
Street bets.
When I say invest in yourself, I really do mean just learn more skills and acquire
Yeah.
more knowledge, not just buy shit for yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like right now I'm only have the luxury to do this right now because at least for my new job, I'm actually a lot more comfortable, at least comfortable in the manner of like, it's obviously something that I wanted to kind of do as part of my bucket list goal, which is in this case, I am technically a consultant engineer that I do design and install work, which is weird. And I also travel as well, which I didn't think would happen, honestly. But here I am somehow.
You never know where life takes you, bro. That's the
Yeah.
thing, though.
Yeah. Life took me, in this case, working at Quick Trip. God, I fucking hate taking out trash there. God, I can still smell it. Like I said, like I said, for people out there, just be prepared in the fact that you are going to definitely eat shit in life. But it's the matter of how hard life knocks you down and how determined you are to get back up. Don't take it there laying there. I did that once. It did not work well. That's how I got fired. But like I said, hopefully this is something that's a good life advice to someone that's either stuck in their office job or they're planning on trying to do something more with their lives. Everybody has the capacity to do so. It's whether or not are you willing to make that risk.
Or willing to make that jump.
Yeah. Because then it comes to the point where you're at the stepping stone and then there's just that one cavern
Big
that
gap.
you have to, the big gap that you have to be jumped over. And it's something that, like, if you don't think about it too much, the jump is not too bad. You just have to go over it. But a lot of times people are definitely fixated on how deep it is if they mess up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how I graduated. I made a lot of mistakes.
And
I'm not saying,
graduated.
yeah, what I'm saying is don't make mistakes here, guys. The same way as I do. Just don't be afraid to make it.
So what Brian's saying is
Learn from your mistakes.
learn from your mistakes. Yes, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, learn from your mistakes. If you do fail, it happens. Just accept that it happened and learn from it and keep going. Sure, you're gonna eat shit, but hey, like I said earlier, if you can get back up,
as long as you're eating new shit and not the same shit you had been eating before, then you're fine. That means you're making progress.
Yep.
By definition, that is definitely progress. God, but this has got to a very weird, like, so hopefully this was a lighthearted advice in the end too, especially the way how we kind of worded it throughout the entirety of this podcast. I actually do want to, like, be more positive about this just because, God, I hated my previous job.
No, I mean,
I
it's good
can't
advice.
tell.
Like, it's good advice. I think that this advice has been said and passed around a lot, but I think a lot of people still don't know about it or understand it. So
Yeah,
we're doing our part.
yeah, we're doing our
doing
part.
I'm
just
doing my
'cause
part.
Yeah, because I'm at least giving my personal story a little bit about this, especially where I was almost scammed out of money from like a fucking pig butchering scam. Oops.
Yeah. What a time. What a time.
Yeah,
I was
happens.
there.
Yeah, it
He told me.
happens.
Where were
He told me
you?
all about it.
God. But yeah, if you guys want to hear more about my victim like
No.
story of like how I was almost scammed out of, if anything, I did get scammed out of money, but it was only for $500.
Well, he didn't get scammed. That's still in his account.
Yeah. But regardless, if you want to hear that story, we have it in the videos. Go give it a like and follow or watch there.
Go view our
Viewership.
other
all-
Or
podcasts.
just do whatever you want with that video. It's
Catch up
to
with
you.
the lore.
Yeah. If you want to make it edits too to make me sound even funnier, you have the ability to do that.
The Hot Trash has the lore.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't even know about this.
Ah,
we have a
goddamn.
hot or trash lore.
So what the fuck is our lore?
Dude, we have
Hey,
a lot of
That's a good.
episodes of lore.
That's a good idea for our first anniversary. We just come up
Shoot.
with our own lore.
Honestly,
Goddamn.
I want to hear what someone compiles as lore from all our like videos. and just,
Yeah, I
like,
want a
compiles
fan
like
fiction.
our profile. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh
God.
well, who
I
are
Is
want
it-
a
they?
fanfic,
Yeah,
Okay.
Hey, they
Wait, hold
definitely
on.
shipping Michael and Victor. I'm just saying.
bro.
it
Bet.
seems like everyone does.
And then it's just like, it's almost just like, I think Brian genuinely hates Michael. It's like, out of all the
Brian
interactions,
secretly, openly hates Michael.
secretly, openly hates Michael.
It was first secretly, but you know now it
Secretly,
became open.
openly hates
What the
Michael.
fuck did you just say?
I don't know. That's what I thought Michael was trying to say.
Oh, I
No,
think
well,
that's
I was
what you
gonna
were
say
trying to say.
secretly. No, I was gonna say secretly, but
Openly.
it sounded. Like, but then I was like, openly sounds way better because you're like actually aggressive towards me. So
I just want to.
yeah, in the friends group, the nemesis is Michael and Brian. And it's like, okay, I want to hear that.
It's like, yeah, I actually do want to hear it too. Actually, me and Michael, we're just cool. It's just the fact that Michael does have things that happens in his life that I'm just like, damn, my guy, how's your balls so feeling?
Whoa,
Why?
why would you?
Why would you
I
say
don't know what you're
that?
talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. That was just a random shit that I threw
I
out
think
there.
he
Nothing
has
real
perfectly
about.
good balls. Okay.
Thank you.
How the
would you
fuck
know?
do you know?
Well,
See,
I
now
don't
we're
know, but
now
I'm supporting it.
now it's gonna be a love triangle between me, Victor, and Lloyd. That's the new lore.
Nope, I'm
So-
asexual.
So,
Oh.
but yeah, follow us on Twitter. Give us your best lore hints or lore drops that you have about the Hunter Trash Boys here. Even some of our special guests that we probably brought on too. Hopefully, we bring them more often.
Matt is a Taco Bell connoisseur that
Mhm.
in the other reality,
He's like,
the one we're currently living in, he created
God.
Taco Bell and he made it extremely
bro.
good to where it's like the 5-star gourmet bullshit around the world.
3 Michelin star restaurant. Goddamn.
No. He still has the normal fast food Taco Bell, and then he has the one super special 3 Michelin star one.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You have to know him personally to be invited.
Yeah. Yeah, invite only restaurant. Yeah.
Exactly.
God.
This is his house.
Like- Like I said, Taco Bell, if you're ever listening to us, we are more than welcome to negotiate with sponsorship.
I love Taco Bell.
We all do.
Right now.
I will
We'll plaster the Taco Bell logo everywhere in our stream.
We will
I'll
do
eat
so.
Taco Bell on stream. I'll do face reveal. No, mouth
Wait,
reveal on
taco-
yeah.
A Taco Bell mukbang. Let's go. I'm ready for it.
It's just
Yeah.
gonna,
Taco
we're
Bell
not gonna do
sponsors,
like,
we'll do it.
we're not gonna do face reveals. We're gonna do mouth reveals. So it's
Full
Oh.
face reveal, bro. Let them see
God.
ugly faces.
we get
God
to watch
damn.
our mouths eat Taco Bell.
Yeah. I will say too, for the upcoming podcast too, there won't be a podcast just because I'll be out on a business trip to San Jose. So
Wow,
there's gonna be
fancy.
that. Yeah. If only if I'm going out for San Jose for pleasure. But you know what? I think if I'm gonna be working that late anyways, I'll probably have more time in the day anyways. Eh,
Let's go hit up a day strip club.
That's
goddamn.
what I'm saying.
God. Oh right, I'll be going out to San Jose during Pride Month. Let's go.
It is already
Yeah.
Pride Month.
Yeah. But if anything, thank you all for tuning in. I'm so sorry for anybody that was anticipating a 9 or 9:30 launch. Things just happened, and right now I'm also in the middle of packing at the moment too. So with that, thank you all for tuning in. We'll make sure that again the next week podcast stream as well. I'll probably be posting on Twitter if I'm gonna say we're gonna do our anniversary update at some point or whatnot. Doesn't matter too much to me, at least. Thank you all, and have a good evening.
Someone write our lore before the anniversary stream.
God damn.
I want to see a wiki page on it.
God. Oh my god. But anyways, bye guys.
Adios.